Welcome to another episode with your host, Robert E. Hansen, psychic medium, author, and public speaker.
Welcome. I'd like to share a story about the caterpillar and the butterfly. This story is rather old, and it's a classic. It goes back many, many years. Some of you may have heard it. Many people have not, so I'd really like to share it with you. And it talks about the gift in the struggle of being free. There were two women that were walking along a forest path. They were taking a walk, a beautiful afternoon. It was summertime, the weather was gentle, and they were just enjoying a stroll through the leaves and the beautiful green sky, the green trees, the blue sky, just a normal, nice, sunny, warm, sunny afternoon. And then as they were walking, they happened to look down and they saw a cocoon on the ground. The cocoon, of course, holding inside it the caterpillar. The cocoon is this little shell that forms around the caterpillar. It's almost like its house, its incubation system, so to speak. And it blossoms eventually into the butterfly. So as they noticed the cocoon started to shake. It began to shake back and forth, indicating that the caterpillar was ready to let go and blossom into the butterfly. So one of the women bent down and she picked up the cocoon and she took out of her purse or out of her pocket a small little knife, very small, like a manicure knife, and she very carefully slit open the cocoon, and sure enough, this little caterpillar with wings now began to break free and fly. The problem was it only flew about 4 or 5 feet. It just fluttered, and then it landed back out on the dirt along the pathway of this forest. And as they looked down, they noticed the legs and the wings flopping and struggling, and suddenly it just died. It just died. And the woman that cut open the cocoon, she started crying. Her friend came over and said, "Oh my goodness, this little thing died. I just killed it. I killed it." And she says, "No, you tried to help it." But the problem was it needed this struggle. It needed the challenge of breaking out of its cocoon in order to really find its wings, to really let the full process unfold. And if the struggle had been allowed to continue, what we would have seen is this beautiful caterpillar no longer being a caterpillar. It would have magically become and transformed into this beautiful, beautiful butterfly. But because the struggle was interrupted by an outsider, the developing butterfly was never given its full chance to blossom. And this great lesson has been taught to a lot of folks who are struggling with the situation, and with best intentions sometimes, outsiders will step into it, will get involved in it, interrupt the struggle process because they feel bad that the person is struggling. And rather than giving them the cocoon of struggle to really, really develop from, instead, they interrupt the process. And the person, in sort of a way, doesn't really find their wings. And they don't die, thank goodness. But the struggle continues and continues and continues because the process of full struggle was really removed from them with good intentions. So if you have someone that is struggling, if you have yourself in some kind of a struggle emotionally or spiritually, allow yourself, give yourself the chance to really see it through. Because when you see it through completely, deeply, intimately, without hiding, without avoiding, Really let the cocoon hold you until you're really ready to be done with it, to break free of it, and shatter the cocoon on your own. You will find these amazing new wings of peace and hope and light, and that will set you free. And when you look back, you'll say, boy, when I was going through that struggle, it was really rough, really hard. It broke my heart, but I stuck with it. And now I can look back and realize how important it was for me to go through this struggle. I found great peace in the gift of my struggle, just like the caterpillar does when it becomes the beautiful and radiant butterfly. Thank you for listening.